All right, live on Periscope, live on YouTube, and live on from Beijing, China, where the air is extremely polluted. YouTube is down. What happened there? Give me a second. Okay, looks like the internet connection is bad. All right, there we go. We got back up. All right, so again, good morning from Beijing, China. I'm Di Shen, and today we're going to go over some news coming out of China today. Now, today I'm going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to go over one personal opinions on that. Hey, John, thank you for joining. Then there's a couple things I want to talk about as far as life here in China. Excuse me. Get some water in here. So thank you for joining me on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you like this video, or because this is only going out to friends and family, make sure you comment and like it. On Periscope and on YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up, a heart, super hearts, whatever. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to follow me. I'm doing these videos pretty much almost every day. Right now, give an idea of what's happening and what's being said over here, as well as daily life. And being said over here, as well as daily life. And on YouTube, I'll be posting some videos shortly, at least once a week, about news, but about life here, things to do, and here over 24 years. So let's get right into it. Today, coming out of China's news, there's one specific article I want to talk about because it seems like it's being talked about a lot in the States, this topic. And so I want to go over it with you guys as well. So the topic is about the U.S. and China supposedly having a Cold War or going towards the Cold War. So the Chinese article published by Zhang Zhuchi, which is a reporter for Global Times in China, published this last night. U.S. Cold War mentality and arms race are more dangerous than virus. So the whole idea is that they're trying to basically say that, and there's a whole bunch of articles that we've read already together, but they're definitely doing they're pushing it every day as far as this idea that the U.S. needs to shut up, stop doing any military actions. And they're trying the idea that America doesn't care about its people. I didn't finish reading the entire thing yet, but I started it, and we'll read the rest together right now. It's not too long. Retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General Thomas, and I'm going to screw up this family name, Spoher, recently co-wrote an article which contends that fiscal constraints from the coronavirus should not impede on U.S. defense spending whatsoever. Defenders of U.S. military spending are predictably among the first to seek immunity from future budget cuts despite domestic economic headwinds. This rationing stems from a long, or again, please forgive, it's Chinglish sometimes. This rationing stems from a long-standing Cold War mentality and a policy focuses on imagined enemies such as China and Russia. Okay. At present, the U.S. military is seeking to restore moral and confidence that has been shaken since the coronavirus emerged. Jesus, sorry. No coronavirus for this. For warning of coronavirus spreading through his ship. Now, this is the big third paragraph about how saying that Roosevelt South China Sea, and the U.S. is contending that it didn't. I'm willing to bet planes and ships, battleships and aircraft carriers and everything into the South China Sea to basically say, screw you, this is international water. It's not. And China's a Navy, sorry, if I'm screwing up the whatever, and just went about their business. Now, be trying to say, oh, not gonna. All right, anyways. The U.S. obsession, or the fact that the amphibious assault ships and other vehicles have kept the moves amid heading through repeated provocations. Again, It's not the U.S. that's undermining the peace. The fact is that China took that land. All right. Capabilities being seriously affected. The number of aircraft carriers, even if far greater than that of any other country. Anyways, what's up, Alan? The U.S. just a hell of a lot. Even modest reductions in funding will not equipment. U.S. military spending outlaying military expenditures. 27th by the think tank Stockholm International of the coronavirus. It's the only ship. The other ships are all out there and they're all doing their thing. So is the military. But anyways, I also don't like the idea of the U.S. policing the world. Now, I don't or somewhat libertarian. I don't think the U.S. needs to be personally. I don't think the U.S. needs to be policing the world. I think this needs to ensure its security. If they ask, I'm definitely not. Or xenophobe. We also need to take care of in our interests, whether you want to call it selfish or not. Our interests is around the world. South China Sea is an interest for the U.S., a open international, right? I mean, it's very important. And to be honest, I've got personally agree with China, at least to the world, as what I say the China side. We're saying, oh, you guys can stay there, but all that once the epidemic is under control, the U.S. Will certainly right. The U.S. It's not that Russia's doing something bad. It's not that the U.S. is doing something bad. It's only the U.S. is doing something bad. See, I have no problem if we spread the something bad. It's not that Russia's doing something bad. It's not that the U.S. is doing something bad. It's only the U.S. is doing something bad. See, I have no problem if we spread the love around, right? The U.S. does some shitty stuff. I admit it, but most of it on the U.S. I see it as other nations are really already underway. Hey, what's up? The trend is already underway to patrol the Asia Pacific. The trend is already underway. Just U.S. military leaders continue to send warships to patrol the Asia Pacific region to deter others, just as they ironically dismissed an aircraft captain. All right, that captain that they're talking about that the U.S. military dismissed captain is not the company, right? It does positivity towards us. It's a lot of negativity. I have the right to fire that dude. Stand with my company. If he's got a problem, get out of the company to work for. That's the way I see it. So when the captain's he's company, a few of them, but from my understanding, there's procedures. Do things. You got some there, but you do not leave publicly the president or whatever else. So that's my opinion. As far as China talking, if you spelled our makes it China Sea, it doesn't fall in line with any of our history, with any of the situations. What it does fall in line, a massive amount of sailors on this. There were sick people because China said, "Hey, get the hell out of our waters." No. Now doesn't fall in line with any of our history is a massive amount, not because China said, hey, get the hell out. All right, guys, feel free to send me comments as we're going through Twitter. Feel free to send me comments as we're going through this. I'm more than happy to I don't buy that. All right. Now, you guys, please go ahead and write some comments on live, Periscope, Twitter. Feel free. I want to talk about really quick here. Now, I do got to say that I'm quite a few podcasts. I'm doing a live reading. Right, it is not. Guys, the news and not publishing, not reporting. I'm reading you guys the news and giving you my opinion. Agency uh, a student went back. She was done and covered. She put out it while she was on this, a little messy. I'm assuming that the school was pissed. With that said, a while before I left to come to China. Is if you start whites or only the racist, and that didn't make no problem. Is if you start an organization that Jew the racist, and that kind of like I think that was like one of the first DC that I agreed with. advice or. And I started to see like